For our next stop on the St. Mark Discipleship Tour, we are actually going to go on a tour of our very own church. And our tour guide is none other than Joyce Carney, who is the chair of our aesthetics committee. And oh, here she comes now. Hi, Joyce.
Hey, Jay.
I'm glad you could join me today. And we're here in the atrium because the atrium has been beautified in the last few years, and Joyce is going to tell us about the wall that we're standing in front of.
Well, the aesthetic committee wanted to improve the appearance of our atrium. We wanted to kind of update it. Also, we wanted to make it spiritual. And this is what we came up with. The hands and feet of Jesus. But we couldn't do that without including our children on our cross wall.
And I think that you may recognize these little hands, don't you? Didn't you tell me?
Yes. That's the hands of Whitney, my 4-year-old granddaughter now.
She's not 4 in that picture.
She was 2 months.
And who do these feet belong to? I love that one.
Those feet belong to all the children in the St. Mark Center that are members of St. Mark.
And I have a feeling that these young disciples are a little older now too.
Oh yes, quite a bit.
And we don't have time on today's tour to look at all 3 of the walls in the atrium, but we invite you to spend some time when you're here during fellowship time. Spend some time looking at the other 2 walls because they're very special and they add a lot to our church.
And see if you can recognize these hands and feet of Jesus that are here at St. Mark.
Very good. Let's go to our next stop on the tour. Our next stop on the tour is the Gallery of Crosses. This is fairly new, right? When did this come to be?
This came to be this spring, Mother's Day. It was dedicated. And this represents members of St. Mark through the years. And the particular cross, this right here, was created or made by my husband Basil.
Beautiful.
In memory of all the pastors and staff here at St. Mark.
I had no idea there were so many different kinds of crosses in the world. These were all donated by
members
members
of St. Mark. You know, you see from the smallest probably is this one up there,
right,
to some of the larger ones.
And then this book tells about all the crosses?
This book here, yes, it tells about the crosses, who donated them, and the reason why they were donated.
Now what happens if somebody comes to the church as a new person?
Did that.
I know, but that just means that we're supposed to wrap it up in a minute, so we'll back up down. What happens if a new person comes to the church? Can they add a cross?
Oh yes, we have a wall down here that's waiting that will start very soon.
Plenty of room for more disciples to add their crosses. Let's go to the next stop. Here we are at one of our small art galleries that is in the hallway by the sanctuary. Joyce, how did this come about?
Back in the spring, we wanted to showcase some of the art work of members of St. Mark, and Patty Goebel graciously allowed us to display some of her work. For example, this one, Creation.
That's beautiful. And something that I notice about all the places we've stopped on the tour today is that they've all come to be since I got here. And that's just a few years ago, but I think you've been here a little longer than that.
Yes, my family's been here since 1933. And I think so.
1933?
Yes.
Now you haven't been here that long.
No. But for 65 years.
Wow, that's awesome. That's great. And where are we going next on our tour?
We're going to the Heritage Center.
And I think that's our last stop, so let's head over there now. For our last stop on the St. Mark Discipleship Tour for today, we are in the St. Mark Heritage Center. Joyce, tell us what we've got here.
This is our St. Mark Heritage Center. This is to showcase the heritage of St. Mark since its beginning days. And here we have church directory for the last 50 years.
How many of those are you in?
Every one of them.
That's a good scavenger hunt. Let's find Joyce in all the directories. Great. And what else do we have? What do we have
These
over
here? Here are pictures of the building of that St. Mark from the very beginning. And
okay. And there's the one from today. And then over here at this table, what is this?
This is more directories.
Okay.
Showcasing the last 50 years. And these are the members of St. Mark that are here today that were in the first directory.
Well, and I think you were in the first directory. Do you remember the first time you came to church here?
Oh, yes. I was 8 years old when we had the dedication of St. Mark. And the whole yard was mud and it was a rainy, cold January day.
We've come a long way since then, haven't we?
Sure have.
That's wonderful. And listen, Joyce, we appreciate you taking us on this tour, and we hope all of you disciples will take your own tour of our facility when you have a chance. Thank you very much.
Welcome.